Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. This is going to be my Shop My Stash for July. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. This video is going to be my Shop My Stash for July, in which I show you what was in the drawer last month and give you some mini reviews. And we will also be selecting some new products for the new month. So if you're excited to see what content you will be seeing from me in the next couple of weeks, then stay tuned. Before we get into the video, it may be good to know who I am and what I like doing on this channel. My name is Maaike, I live in the Netherlands, I have fair skin with a cool neutral undertone, and this greatly influences how I feel about makeup. I have been reviewing makeup for more than a decade. I love trying out eyeshadow palettes, essence and Catrice, and getting the use out of my makeup. So if that's something you're interested in, I hope you would like to consider subscribing. So yes, this was the drawer last month. And there are a couple of products that are really close to being done / products that are done. So the thing that is done, we kind of already saw this coming, is my setting spray. It does still spray a little bit because there's a tiny bit left, but it just squirts product into my face and it doesn't do much setting because the product can't be dispersed very well. So the ColourPop Pretty Fresh is used up, but I had one in backup because this is my favorite of setting spray, so I already rotated this into my Shop My Stash throughout the month. This is my paint pot. I have the tiniest little bit left. It's like stuck to the side there, as you can see. I could perhaps like use my finger to scrape out the rest once that little nub is done. But yeah, my MAC paint pot is very close to being done. I think I have about a week or maybe 2 weeks worth of product left, which means that by the end of this month I definitely need to buy a new one. I don't have one in backup currently, but it's almost done. And the same goes for the eyeshadow that I set it with, because this is so difficult to pick up now. It's pretty much gone. Yes, there is still product on the edges here, but to be quite fair, I feel like I'm pretty much done, and I think that when I am done with my paint pot, I'm also going to be stopping the use of this single eyeshadow. It's in Yogurt, it's also by MAC, and I currently don't have any of these like matte singles, and I like having this together like this. I know a lot of palettes have these shades in, but I'm not going to put a palette in this drawer just for one setting shade. So I do think I'm going to be purchasing either yogurt or vanilla single when I also repurchase the paint pot to sort of have my nice little solid priming potion, like primer sort of setup ready to go. Brows are still ready to go. I think last time I forgot to show you that I selected the e.l.f. Wow Brow to be my brow gel for the time being. So we did that. All of these mascaras need to go into the used up bin because I was using these so much, and I already told you at the start of June how this black mascara from Essence, the Lash Without Limits, was pretty much on its last legs, and it's so dry now. I can barely use it, but I was doing quite a few looks with the which were quite neutral towards the end of the month, so I was actually using my Lash Paradise in the brown shade. This is black brown. Quite a bit, but this has also gone pretty dry and a little bit flaky, so I'm going to stop using that. It was also not my favorite brown mascara either. I think this is still good to go though. The e.l.f. Catrice Glam and Dull Waterproof. We all know I love this thing. It's like my 20th one or something. I don't know. Other than that, all of this is still going strong. And then of course we need to talk about what's in here. But before we do, this is what's left of my e.l.f. Jelly Grip, so that's gonna be gone very, very soon. I think I have 2 or 3 uses left. I do need to use quite a bit of this in order to cover my entire face. So yeah, 2 to 3 pumps every single time I use this makes you go through it really quickly. So we definitely need to select a new primer. And eyeshadow primer wise, I mean, it doesn't look like much, but that's because the plastic of this tube is quite thick. It's the Kiko Milano Neutral Eye Base. It's very close to being done as well, but we all know with eyeshadow bases, they can usually last you quite a long time. So I think for this month, I'm still safe with my eyeshadow primer. For foundation, this probably looks like a an insane amount of products to be using, but I made it my mission to try and use up the Giorgio Armani Neo Nude this summer. So this is going to be living in my Shop My Stash until like, I think August or September. I didn't get as much use out of it because I definitely want to make sure I use as many of my cushion foundations as I possibly can, because that's the review I'm currently working on for you. So I'm going to be selecting 3 new cushion foundations to be using. But this is sort of like the backup. What if things don't work? What if it's super hot as we had last week and I don't want to wear much of a base? This is lovely. I can apply it with fingers and it has been great for that. So this is going to go back. But as I mentioned, I will be selecting 3 new cushion foundations. I love these so much. Formula-wise, these were excellent. Color-wise, shade-wise, they were terrible. All 3 of them. All 3 of them were too dark, too yellow, or they oxidized, or they were too peachy. This was too yellow and too dark. It's about 5 shades too dark for me. And it's the lightest shade possible. That's the Catkin Summer Palace BB Foundation in shade C01. The Fwee Glass Natural, I believe it's called, in Peach Glass 1.5. Again, slightly too dark, but this I felt was the best match out of the 3, but it's definitely peach tone more so than anything else. And yes, if my nails look a little bit yellow, that's because I've been wearing nail polish for the past 2 months and I just took it off because I didn't want to redo my nails. I wanted to give them a break for a week to just let them recover a little bit, but that's why they're so yellow. I do wear nail protector and all that, but they still look a little bit worse for wear because I just took it off. And then the Tirtik, this is the Viral Run, the Red Mask Cushion Foundation. Really lovely formula. I really think this is the best formula of the 3 I tried. Shade 17C, too dark for me, sadly. Concealer-wise, there were quite a few new concealers that I wanted to try. The Skin Tone concealer from Kiko isn't new to me. I've used this one up in the past, but this is a good staple. It doesn't come with a whole lot of product, but this was the product that was living in my Shop My Stash to have on hand, just in case I don't like the new things I'm selecting. However, because I know I can go through this really quickly, I'm actually going to be rotating something else in to take the place of the Kiko, and it's going to be this new guy, the YSL All Hours Precise Angle Concealer in shade LC1. I don't know what they put in this, but this is my new magic potion. It's too much to say after just 2 weeks of using this, but I think this could be my new holy grail concealer, which is a bold claim. It is very expensive, but it also comes with a lot of product inside it. And so far, this is one of the best concealers I've tried all year. Also behind the scenes is a concealer review that I'm working on for you. So I still have a couple that I still need to try, and then hopefully September time I can give you my roundup review of all these different concealers I'm testing out. But yeah, know that this one is going to end up high in that ranking because this has been lovely. So it needs to go back in here because that's going to be the backup. If I don't have something that works for me because it's too dry, too cakey, or too dark, I can fall back on this if need be. The e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. A concealer by e.l.f. that I actually like. This is in shade Fair Beige, but you can already see that it doesn't come with a whole lot of product. The tube looks big, but you don't get that much. How much do you get? It's 6 milliliters. So for reference, the YSL is 15 milliliters. This is half of a foundation that you're getting. It's a lot of product. But yeah, the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer is definitely going to stay in my collection long term. I liked it a lot. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy drugstore concealers usually. So for me to be liking such a luxury product so much is quite unusual for me actually. Going back into the drawer as well, we all know this, my powder is one I use up before I select anything new. I'm getting a little bit tired of this, but the Etude Secret Beam powder has been serving me quite well. I'm not sure if you can see, but I've got a huge dent over here because that's where I stick my brush in the most. So let's see if we can hit pan on it this month. Highlighter wise, I had selected a couple of things. You saw me repurchase this, I think in May or June. I told you that I had repurchased the Clio Prism highlighter. I decluttered this originally and then I was missing it in my collection. So Fairy Lights has been repurchased and you can see the use on it. I reach for this a lot. It's very pretty, especially this time of year because it's this gold pink sort of shine. Very pretty, but I think I want to select a different thing this time round. For the very glam moments, I had my Rare Beauty in Enlighten in here. This is their powder highlighter, and this is also very intense. You can see where my brush has been scraping it. I was wearing it again today. It's very intense. It's very much a thing, but it's pretty. And then finally, the thing that surprised me the most was this Kiko Milano Stellar Love Collection one. This one was in one of their limited edition collections earlier in the year, and I hadn't really gotten through truly reviewing this, and now I finally have, and I'm very happy with it. This is a great liquid highlighter. For bronzer, I was using these two. Becca Bali Sands, again, is going to stay into the drawer because I still haven't hit pan on it. I'm waiting for myself to hit pan on this. There is a huge dip in here. I don't think you can see very well in this lighting. But it's got a huge dent. I think I can actually hit pan on it if I use it another month. So I'm going to soldier on with this one because this is a very old discontinued product. And I know that a lot of people think because I have so much makeup that I don't try to actively use things. But this is why this video series exists. I use up products, I hit pan, and I very much make sure that I get the use out of the products that do stay in my collection long term. Just so you know. This is such a throwback for me. The Solar Powder Bronzer from Soap & Glory is back in a slightly more glowy version than it used to be. I no longer have my old version because I hit pan on it and then also created hard pan in the darker shade of the two. This is what it currently looks like. It has this really nice sort of embossing on it. Very pretty, very light, perhaps a little too light for me for the summer season. So this is something I can go back to in the fall winter season especially, but this is still as good as I remember it being. So this is going to be staying in my collection for a while. And then I was very heavy on the cream and liquid bronzers, blushes this time round. Let me talk you through the K-Beauty stuff first, because these are all K-Beauty. I wanted to review the two Lily by Reds at the same time because it was like, it's the same packaging, I might as well. I have it's officially called the Love Beam Cheek Balm in shade 3, which is something called like Mood Rose or something if I remember correctly. It's in my review, which you can find linked below if you want to. I will have a blog post linked down below where you can find all the links to these product reviews if you're looking for them. But this is really pretty. This is such a good, very neutral looking blush shade on me, and I really enjoy the formula. I don't love the packaging. It can be difficult to open. And then shade 5, which is something like lavender or something. This is very light. This is almost too pale for me. I want to revisit this in like the winter time when I'm at my palest. I am actually a little bit too tan for this at the minute, which I don't tan. So that says a lot. So if you're super pale and you've never tried a blush that looked natural on you and you have a very cool undertone, try this one because this is definitely more of a lavender rather than a pink. It doesn't pull too pink on me. Then I had the Fwee Hyper Fit Color Serum in here in Pit a Pat. And this is such a pretty shade. It does come with a lot of product. I only need half a pump of this. Like a pinprick of product, and I can cover my entire face. This was great for the warm weather we were having. It's exactly the kind of shades I love wearing when we're having warmer weather. But at the minute, I don't think I want to keep this in. It is pretty. I'm going to revisit it at some point. I love the formula, but I think I want to select my Fenty Beauty in Strawberry Drip because that's one of my favorites for the summertime. And then we have Makeup by Mario. This is the Soft Sculpt Blush Stick, I think. Yes, in Dusty Rose. And this was also so pretty. It's a very good neutrally browny rose shade. Oh, no, it doesn't twist back. This is a really lovely product. I think I want to try this in another shade because I love the formula. It's very dewy though. You do have to like a bit of dew if you want to like this. And because of the white packaging and this being a cream, it gets super grubby. And now that I tried to like twist it up to show you the color better, I can't twist it all the way down. So I hope this doesn't get too messy in the long run because the way I've been using it is that I just rub the stick on my finger and then use my finger to apply it. So you really don't need a lot with this. So I hope it doesn't break or gets like super messy now that I've tried twisting it up. But oh well, this is a lovely product indeed, and I want to still show you what lipstick I was wearing all month. These are all the lipsticks that I have selected throughout the month. Lipstick is something that I find very difficult to select in advance because I use lipstick. Like some people use blush or eyeshadow to complete the look. I always look at what my eyeshadow and my blush looks like, and then I select a lipstick to go with it. And these were my picks this month. There were some K-beauty things in here, some drugstore things. I even went back to my love for lip liner this month. And of course, the usual Lisa Eldridge. So let's start with that drugstore option then. These are both by Wycon. I bought these together when I saw this brand in Italy last year, and I fell in love. I think this is a great formula. They have some really lovely products. It's very difficult for me to buy though. They do have an international website, at least one that like ships internationally I've seen, but I haven't dared place an order because some of their products are a little bit more pricey than what I would want to go for. So I would definitely want to go back to Italy at some point and find this brand again to see if I can like buy some other things. But this is their lipstick, matte icon lipstick in the shade mauve. And then I have the matching intense lip pencil also in shade mauve. And this is such a good combo. It is a slightly warmer mauve, but for summer, I really enjoy this. And this is such good quality. It reminds me of Pat McGrath, to be quite fair. These have become some of my favorite lipsticks, the Glossier Ultra Lips. I love these things. I wore Fête because, as you can see, we're having a bright moment. If you also saw any of my videos that I have filmed in the past couple of weeks, then you will have seen me wearing some bright red lipstick again, which is my comfort zone. I love a good bright red lip, and it's just something I really enjoy. So yeah, Fête is a good one for that slightly glossy, more bitten lip look. It's definitely the Ultra Lips I feel are more like a tinted lip balm more so than anything else. It's not like a true lipstick. But the shade Pony, like, this is one where I'm like, I need to start thinking of a backup because I don't have that much left. Like, if I twist it all the way down, like, this used to be flush with the top, and like a good ½ inch of this product is already used up. And I've only had it since, I think, the fall time when did that new foundation launch. I placed an order through Glossier when they started introducing international shipping. Back when they first launched their new foundation, because I wanted to get that, and I threw this one in to get free shipping, I believe, and it's been a favorite ever since. So the Glossier Ultra Lip in the shade Pony, I love this thing to pieces. And one of my favorite K-beauty brands, I know I sound like a broken record, but I keep recommending Romand to you guys, and if you've never tried Romand eyeshadow or their lip stains, you're missing out. I used one of my favorite juicy lasting tints again in the shade Fig Fig. This is such a good like neutral warm rose. It's so pretty on, and for this time of year, lip tints are just winning the game. And then I used 2 of their blur tints. I think that's what these are called. Yes, they're blur fudge tints in Cool Rose Up and Fudge Red. And I wore this for like 2 days back to back, and I'm loving this like slightly orangey pinky toned red. It's really pretty, and these have that blurring lip line effect. It's so pretty and very long lasting as well, because I'm wearing it today, and I put this on this morning at like 8 this morning, and it's still sort of on, and I'm filming it like at 5 in the afternoon. It's not perfect, it needs a touch up, but it's still there. There's still color available, visible. And then of course, Miss Lisa. I always use some Lisa Eldridge lipsticks every single month. Let me see. We went for some bright things. We went for the color. I think the color that most people have already commented on when they saw that video is Velvet Morning. I was really, because it's summer, I was really feeling the orange toned red again, and Velvet Morning is such a good one. But I also craved this bright fuchsia, which is Velvet Carnival. Yes, we went with color this month. I love these kind of shades if I'm wearing like a blue blouse like I'm wearing today. Like this kind of like sky softer blue, or like a white and blue striped shirt with a bright pink lip. Trust me, you need to try it. For the sheer moments, I went with Wonder Wheel, which is in the Luxuriously Lucent collection. And this is one of my favorites in that line, so I had to use it again. It's a great sort of watermelon, kind of fruity sort of look to your lips, but because it's sheer and it's buildable, it definitely looks like you've just eaten fresh fruit. And then I also used Rose Official, which is a really pretty, more nude rose. I think together with the Wycon, this is like the only nude lipstick, together with the Glossier and the Wycon. These are like the only nudes I used all month. So there you have it. Those were all of the products that I had been using this month and some thoughts on that. So let me take you into the drawer to show you what we will be selecting for the new month. For foundation, I'm going to be selecting 3 new cushion foundations that I haven't tried yet. I keep them at the top of this drawer set, so that's why I don't need to go into my drawers to select them. But the first one is the Clio Kill Cover Mesh Glow Foundation in 2BP, which I think is called Lingerie, if I'm not mistaken. I have it in the travel size. How convenient is that? And then this is the Young Sengmul, I hope I pronounced that correctly, cushion foundation. I found this on Olive Young in the shade Fairlight. And then this is one I'm excited for. This is the Romand Bare Water Cushion in 02 Pure 21. I hope these shades are better for me than the first 3. For concealer, we're going to keep the K-Beauty train rolling because I still need to properly review these two. This is the same tip concealer in 0.5. I used this in the past, but the shade was wrong for me, so I bought it in a lighter shade to hopefully like it better. But I remember loving the formula. And then the other one is the Peri Para. I'm not sure if you can read this because it's very shiny. This is the Double Long Wear Cover Concealer. Pure Ivory. So again, 2 concealers to try. I don't need powder, but I do need a primer. I think these are, those are my bronzers. Are these the only primers I still have left? Ooh, I did a good job decluttering. This one I'm going to keep as like backup and like travel size, so I don't want to use that. I think, or maybe this one, because this has the SPF in. Like these kind of do a similar thing, the MAC and the Heimish. I think I'm going to go with the Heimish Artless Glow Blaze. We're just going to go very full-on K-Beauty this month. So when the the Essence is done, I'm going to select this because it also has the SPF and I really enjoyed this product. I think this was actually gifted to me in PR by YESSTYLE or Stylevana, one of those places. So I'm going to keep the Becca bronzer already in, but I do want to use something that's new. And this is the Glossier one that I bought when I was in London. The Cloud Paint bronzer in the shade Swept. The first highlighter I will be selecting is a tried and true favorite. This is the RMS Beauty Living Luminizer. I really enjoy this product and I just want to get some more use out of it. It's another cream product, so that will go nicely with the cream bronzer I'm selecting. I always like having like a mix of creams and liquids in. I also think that I want to do another round of my MAC Show Gold highlighter. This is the Extra Dimension highlighter by MAC. In the shade Show Gold. It's very similar to the Prism highlighter from Clio that you just saw me review. But this is more like gold to pink, and I feel the Clio is more pink to gold. It has a slightly different shift. This is very pretty on me in the summertime. The Fenty Beauty Kilowatt highlighter in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. I spotted the new Demi Glow ones when I was at a Sephora in Germany. And I definitely want to try one of those. They seem to be very pretty. It's sort of like in between the intensity of these two. And you can just see, I went to town already on the more intense side of this when I was first using it. And I'm currently more into these like subtle highlighters that we get on the other side. And the last time I was using it, you can just see the dent I made just above the embossing. So maybe we can hit pan because I went to town on this one. So this way I have something very soft, something creamy, something warm toned, something a bit more neutral, and something that's slightly icy. That way I cover all of my bases. I've found my blush selection. It may be a bit like much, but this way I have 2 creams, 2 powders, and something that's very warm toned. Well, it's all quite warm toned, but this is a little bit more subtle, a little bit more natural. These are more neutral, and then this one is the most colorful option. So the Cheek Lover Let me show you that first. This is the Cheek Lover Oil Infused Blush from Catrice. This is in Bloomin' Hibiscus. This was discontinued a long time ago. It's like NARS Orgasm-esque, but with a cooler toned flash. So I think this will be lovely for me in the summertime because it does have that peachy coral vibe that I like this time of year. And then one of my favorite summertime blushes is the Fenty Beauty Cream Cheeks Out Cream Blush in Strawberry Drip. I really enjoy this. It's like a corally pink leaning coral. So it has like a cooler undertone to it. I also have MAC's Glow Play, which I also like, but that's more orange toned. So I think I want to keep that one for August, to select that one then, because I love that shade. And then two products I haven't reviewed, because I'm actually selecting quite a few older products to me that I have tried before. But these I just got in this spring. These are by M Cosmetics. Both of these are really good products. I know I love these formulas. This is my third one of this Heaven's Glow product, but this is in Venetian Rose, and this looks so pretty in the pan. I hope it's going to be a bit more neutral on me because it looks very mauve toned, so I wanted to test it out for that. And I actually bought the matching So Soft blush in Venetian Rose, which it's very much giving me the same sort of vibe as that Makeup by Mario blush I was using this month. So this way I have something neutral, and I figured that I could test out this by itself, the Heaven's Glow blush by itself, but also see how they combine if you layer them, because that was the reason why I got both of these products, so I could layer them. So I hope that that's going to be nice. And I think that's it. I do still need to select some mascara, but I will show you when I put the drawer back together. So I've put my drawer back together. As you can see, it fits quite nicely. I know it's messy. Some people get a heart attack when they see this, but I usually move like the products I'm using that week to the forefront, and then I will like rotate it as the month goes on. So I have a system that I can manage this amount of makeup in this drawer just fine. But this way you have an idea of what I will be using. Mascara-wise, I did select the Maybelline Sky High Mascara in the burgundy shade to try, just to change it up from my usual brown. And then for a black mascara, I'm going to be using this guy, which I still need to unwrap, the Mascara 2053 from Queen Musia. This one was sent to me in PR. I will leave a link down below if you're interested in buying this. This is a new clean beauty brand, and they send out PR packages to a bunch of people, and I'm glad that I get to try their mascara. I hope it's good. But finally, the thing we still need to discuss is eyeshadow palettes. So these are the palettes I've selected to go back to. You will have noticed in recent months that I'm really digging colorful things and warm tone things. So this is very unusual for me, but I'm really digging it at the minute. I don't know what's going on, but I'm really liking color, and I'm really liking warmer tones as well. And one of my favorite warm tones look to do for the summertime is warm tones with a pop of teal. And when I think warm tones and a pop of teal, I think Game Beauty Victory palette. What about you? So that's why I definitely want to use this. It's got some really nice spicy shades with those teals. The white that's in here has a blue teal sort of flip as well. I will have a lot of fun playing with this again. Another oldie but goodie, and that I haven't used in a while because I wasn't really digging color, is the BH Cosmetics Bubblegum. This is an all blue palette. But a blue for the summertime, there's just something about it, but I had a plan for this, because what if I wanted to make my Love in London a bit more blue? This is one of my favorite palettes of all time. I wish they still did it. Rest in peace, BH Cosmetics. But this is one of the best neutral tone palettes that has ever been in existence. It's just not, it's a bit bland. But these neutrals are really good. So what if I use these neutrals and then use the bubblegum as a pop of color? That was my thinking. And I'm not someone who usually goes for like combining palettes and like creating looks using multiple palettes in one go. But I should get out of that rut, I feel. So that's why I wanted to do that. And we're going to play with two palettes at the same time for that look at least. And then we have the Eternal Eclipse from Lunar Beauty, which is not very much a summertime palette, but this also has these warm tones. and the blues, and that's really where my brain has been going. But this is also great for like a blue tone smoky eye. May want to do that at some point. This pinky shade I really like. I love this shimmer, so I can easily do 2 to 3 looks with this. Not sure I'll have time for that, but I know I can do a good look with this. And I just realized I hadn't used this in a while, and it's my only Lunar Beauty palette. That's probably why it's like sitting in my collection and it's not something that's front of my mind per se, but that's why I'm doing that video series where I can use palettes I know I love so that I can like still love them longer than just like a hot minute. And finally, to keep the summer toned vibes going, we're going to be playing with the Ace Beauté Oceanic palette. One of the best blue-green palettes ever made? It's a bold statement, I know. But this has all the blues and greens I could possibly want, so this is going to be a nice and vibrant look. But this can be really grungy as well, but it can also be very bright. So I don't know which way I want to pull it yet, but I'll see on the day that I use this. So those are the old palettes that I want to use again. But recently, I was kindly gifted a bunch of palettes, plus I bought some from Monolith. So let me section them out. These are the palettes I was gifted by the lovely Kim. She is one of my regular viewers, and she heard me mentioning the Biba palette and saying how that was something that sort of got out of my hand. Like, this was the one that got away, you could say, in terms of Natasha Denona palettes, because this is pretty hard to get. I think you can only still get it on the Natasha Denona website. And she was like, oh, I have one that I never use. Would you like to have it? And I was like, no, whatever. It's okay. I don't, like, I've got plenty of makeup. I don't need even more. But she was like, all of a sudden, one day, there was a package notification that something had been delivered at my neighbor's, and I was like, that's weird, I'm not expecting anything. And she had sent me this, and then some. So I have already been playing with the Biba, because there is quite a lot of new stuff that I want to review this month, and I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get it all done. So I've already done 2 looks with this, just to give it a test. The mattes in this are so pretty. I've used all of these shades here, and this brown, and I've used all of these shades here and this shimmer. I still need to use these guys and this matte, but so far, this is a really good neutral palette. It's not necessarily my color story, but now that I'm testing it out, I can see what the fuss was about when this was first launched, and it was very hyped up. More bits that Kim sent me then, the Sugar Pill 10th Anniversary palette. Save for that cat palette, what was it called? That pastel neon palette? The fun size, the first one. I have never tried any Sugar Pill eyeshadow, so I can't wait to play with that. Then she also sent me this from Glam Shop. I don't speak Polish. Someone told me in the comments what this means, but I don't. I've forgotten. But yeah, this is a Polish indie brand. There's one shade that keeps flaking, which is that purpley shade. This is very colorful. And it's very similar to the new palette that they've announced just recently. But yeah, this is something that I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with, because it's very colorful and very much what I like currently. And then we have this guy, Moira's Endless Moonlight. This was one I was eyeing up when I first wanted to try Moira as a brand. I was like, you know what? That looks like something that's very pretty, but not necessarily something I need, because I already have so many things. So I passed up on it initially, but then she sent it to me, and I was like, thank you, Kim, because that was one that was secretly on the wish list. She knows me so well. So yeah, Moira's Endless Moonlight, I'm very glad I get to try it. She's a bit chunky, though. That's the only thing I dislike. It's very heavy, too, but the shades inside it look like a perfect blend of cool tones and warmer tones. So very interesting. Very interested in trying this one. And finally, the things I got from Monolith. I think this was like 2 or 3 different orders. First up, I have the Glaminatrix Sugar and Spice. I went through a complete binge watching moment in March of nothing but eyeshadow palette collection videos. And this was the palette that I didn't own yet, that I saw in so many people's collections, that made me think, I want to try this. So there we have it. It's essentially a neutral palette with pops of pastel and multi-chrome shimmers. Very, again, softer colors, but like muted colorful, very spring-like. And it's one where I'm like very curious to see how much I like it. I know I like the Glaminatrix formula, but I don't always love their color stories. It's why I decluttered my, what was it called? Natural Nude or whatever. Nearly Nude, Nearly Natural. The neutral one. It wasn't very neutral on me. It was very warm toned. I kept a couple of shades in my singles collection that I like, because these are magnetic. I believe this one is as well. But I've kept my Nocturnal because I think there are some unique shades in that. And I think that this can be one of those palettes as well. But glad they are available on Monolith, because my first order was directly from Australia and the custom fees just kill you. And then I also got some Clarity Cosmetics to try. It seems to me like Clarity Cosmetics is discontinuing a lot of their palettes to come out with new revamped versions. But on Monolith, I could still purchase the Mini Bloom, which I think they've now discontinued. It's no longer available on there either. But look at this grungy, plummy, green, blue heaven of a palette. This was one that I was eyeing up the minute it launched, but because it's a US-based brand and it wasn't something I felt I had to prioritize, I never got it. But now I'm so glad I got my hands on this. This kind of color story is right up my street. It's more of a fall color story perhaps for me, but I am very excited to play with this. And finally, the Deadly Rose palette. This was, I think, their Valentine's Day collection release. Again, very grungy, not necessarily for now, perhaps, but I think I can make this work. This red has a nice pop of like almost like a pinky undertone to it. It's got really good taupe-leaning shimmers, and then it has greens. So to me, this is very much like a grungy rose palette, because it's like it's got the like stems of a rose and then the petals as well, and then you just have the neutrals that sort of come with it that complemented really, really well. So yeah, some of the shimmers in this look insane in a swatch. So I can't wait. I think this, so far, has been my favorite thing that Clarity has ever released. And the minute I saw that this was going to be live on Monolith, I knew I had to grab it. So I'm glad I finally get to test it out. I waited trying out this one because I think I got the Bloom later. I was like, if I'm getting two Clarity palettes, I might as well like test them out at the same time. So I kind of pushed this one back until I had space in my review system, until I could try both at the same time. So yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 new to me palettes, which is a lot. I tend to stick to like 5 or 6 if they're like small palettes, because then I can also get back to older things. And I don't have vacation quite yet, but yeah, we'll see how this goes. I will definitely be selecting fewer things next month, and maybe I'm gonna have to push my older palettes I tried again video like back till like the start of August, just so I have time to test all of these new palettes out. But we'll see how it goes. I try to get a head start by already using pretty much all of the shades in the Biba palette, so that I can like knock 2 or 3 of these palettes out in the first week of July. That's definitely my intention, because it is a lot, and I do try to use every single shade in a palette when I review them. I don't want to try just like 2 shades and then make up my mind. I definitely want to give it a good try and really see how things wear throughout the day as well. And 4 different shades, like a matte versus a shimmer, is going to have a different wear time on your face. So that's why I always feel I need to do my due diligence, you could say, and really give these products a really good test. And this is also why I don't want to test out too many new things in this category, because if I already have so much eyeshadow I need to play with, there's not enough brain space for me to be testing out other things as well. But I have to test out enough new things so I can keep the blog running as well, because all of these products that are new in here, blog post for sure in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned on my blog to see some of these foundations being reviewed, the concealers, the new bronzer. I think I had some new blushes that I haven't reviewed yet in there. So that's all going to happen. And then, of course, I will have an eyeshadow palette review by the end of the month. hopefully a video where I went back to those older palettes as well. And I plan on doing a swatcheroo with all of my Lisa Eldridge Bullet lipsticks. And then I also want to include some new things, but you're going to have to stay tuned because I will be showing you my monthly haul with the new bits that I just recently got in the past couple of weeks in the next couple of days. So if you want to see what's new for me and what I might be able to show you in that Lisa Eldridge video, then you need to stay tuned and watch that video for sure. So yeah, thank you so very much for joining me here today. I really hope you appreciated seeing and hearing all of my thoughts on these products. I like to do this once a month, as I mentioned, just to keep this drawer fresh and ready to go, but to also update you on products I've been testing out, and that you just get a full lowdown and sort of like a small behind the scenes look of what I'm using up, what I'm loving, what I think I want to use more of. Yeah, there's definitely that. So thank you so very much for joining me here today. Thumbs up the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more by me. I make several videos every single week, so I'd like to stay tuned for more, and then I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye!